Safia Jongo has said that in collaboration with the Rescue and Fire Force, they have successfully rescued flood victims and that there are no casualties. At night, my house collapsed. When it did, I lost many things like my bed, which was swept away by water, as well as basins, my chickens, and my 6 goats. I asked the government to help me with the basics, such as food and mosquito nets. I call on those living in valleys or near rivers in Mwanza region, especially in Magu and Simiyu, our neighbors. They're all affected by this river and should move immediately. The water is continuing to rise and the dangers are constantly increasing. And Parliament has directed the Attorney General to see if the Member of Parliament of Kigoma Urban, Zito Kabwe, committed a criminal offence when he used Parliament's emblem in a letter to the World Bank requesting it to suspend a loan for education development in the country. This move comes after the MP of Siha, Dr. Godwin Mollel, requested for the guidelines from the Speaker on this issue.
Anasema World Bank wasitoe fedha serikali ikapata ili iboreshe elimu.
When you hear of someone asking the World Bank not to release funds so that the government could further develop the education sector, it is hard to understand. No matter how much you are in opposition, it should not be the case. This must be looked into to establish if there has been a breach of the law, so right measures can be taken.
Kuna ujilai katika jambo hili, basi muweze kuchukua hatua.
The number of people who have lost houses and assets due to floods in Kilwa District, Lindi region, has increased from 4,000 to 9,860. Development stakeholders have started to provide support such as clothes, mattresses, bed sheets and cash for the flood victims. Initially, I was asking for aid in form of food and goods such as food, clothes, blankets and mattresses. I want to take this opportunity to thank those stakeholders who have shown concern and today have come to one of the areas affected by floods. This area alone has over 4,000 people who have been affected. We've given our contributions to the district commissioner, who said he will direct the funds towards food, as there is a shortage of food in this area, so it will be used for that. I call on the public to help, as there's still more that is needed. We are thankful to the government for the donations, as disasters have no budgets, but the government has made an effort to help us. No one will go back there. The village will be moved to a dry area. Tanzania Communication Regulatory Authorities launched the TCRA ICT Awards for 2020, which every communication provider with a license from TCRA must participate in the awards expected to be held in June of this year. The Director General of TCRA, Engineer James Kilaba, said the aim of the awards is to reward service providers for their services.
TCRA will keep intact the ICT Awards competitiveness and at the same time pursue to provide a high-class platform for our stakeholders to get feedback from their consumers, as I have said. Hence, it is mandatory. Labda hii ndio tusisitize kwamba ni lazima mwenye leseni ya TCRA ushiriki. I argue all of you to read it very carefully as you plan to achieve this commitment, being part of our obligation to the public and a way to hold ourselves accountable.
Sana ambalo tumelishuhudia leo
Media owners should be at the forefront to encourage people to participate, but also to show cooperation, because success depends on them. We commend you for this and we wish you all the best.
And 6 people have appeared in Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court to face 5 charges, which include money laundering. Among the accused include 2 customs officers and a police officer. In the first count, the accused are alleged to have led a gang of criminals and that on an unknown date they met and planned to illegally get 57 million shillings. In the second count, the accused are alleged to have on the 2nd of January 2020 conspired to get money from Harubu Abdallah after lying that they will help him change his money to go to the regional commissioner. Investigations on the case are ongoing and it has been adjourned until February the 13th of this year. And the Minister of Defence and National Service, Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, has said that Tanzania will continue to be in the forefront in sending peacekeeping forces in Africa and other countries around the world. Minister Dr. Mwinyi gave the statement in Dar es Salaam after receiving military support worth $18 million from the United States government.
The United States Armed Forces has donated equipment ranging from logistics, field engineering, and military communications, valued at $18 million, which are going to significantly enhance the operational capability of TPDF, specifically in peace support operations. Allow me to express my heartfelt appreciation to the government and people of the United States of America for this invaluable support. Indeed, this support will help to strengthen our capacity to defend our nation and make sure that the world remains peaceful and prosperous.
I'm really happy to be here. Normally, I don't get to see so many soldiers in my work. But since 2 countries, America and Tanzania, work so well because of your leadership, Minister, and the Chief of Defense Forces, General Mabeo, I am really moved to be here for this ceremony today. And just want to thank the APROP unit for its tremendous work they were able to do last year to bring us up the level that we are in today.
In this regard, we wish to extend our utmost gratitude to the government of the United States of America through an active role in the African Peacekeeping Rapid Response Partnership Program under U.S. AFRICOM. Through this program, Tanzania has received donations on a range of equipment and training opportunities in peacekeeping aspects to enhance capacity for rapid deployment as envisaged.
Tanzania Revenue Authority TRA in Ruvuma region through the Customs Department has distributed to primary and secondary schools in Nyasa district more than 1,600 litres of edible oil which had been confiscated after being smuggled into the country. The smuggled goods were seized at Mamba Bay port in Nyasa district.
After decision was made by the department commissioner, it was decided that the oil should be given out. Is about 80 buckets which will be distributed to schools. I urge business owners not to evade paying taxes and must pay the right amount on imported goods.
That's all for national news. International news is next. In international news, 10 people have been rescued by a helicopter belonging to the Red Cross when the vehicles were overwhelmed by floods in Kenya, which has left more than 100 people homeless in Kisii County after their houses were demolished by landslides.
We were taking the goats for slaughter, and we've been here for 2 days with no food. We rescued those who had been stranded there this entire time. They have lost livestock in the process, and their trucks have been destroyed. We want the government to help us look into the state of this road.
A few days after the World Health Organization (WHO) announced the coronavirus outbreak was an emergency disaster, Rwandan Air has suspended indefinitely flights to Wanzhou. The flight suspension comes at a time when Rwanda, like many other African countries, depend on industrial goods from China, with economists saying the situation will likely result in increase of prices of such goods.
Ndio zitapanda bei, lakini hakuna jinsi kwamba wafanyeje. Wataangalia opportunity nyingine ya kuweza kuangalia utaratibu bei zisipande kwa kasi.
The U.S. Embassy in China said that it is taking measures to ensure its nationals do not become infected with coronavirus. This comes as the Ministry of Health in Uganda says that it is ready to respond to any reported case of the virus in the country.
It takes a bit of time to plan that kind of thing, make sure that the necessary information is relayed.
We advise that people should observe basic hygiene practices with alcohol-based sanitizers.
And entrepreneurs in Burundi have said that they will continue to use plastic bags as there are no alternative packaging materials. The government of Burundi, through the Ministry of Environment, Agricultural and Livestock, on August the 22nd of 2019, banned the use of plastic bags, but has given a phase-out deadline for plastic bags until February the 8th of this year.
We are selling different types of plastic bags with different colors, such as green, black, as well as white, and I will continue to sell them. How can I stop when I have no alternative? Only a short time remains, but those alternative bags have not been found. We also try to ensure a lot is purchased so that it is all sold and finished. But we ask that they add on a bit more time because I think the bags are still left quite a lot.
And that's where we leave off with international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Well, thank you for staying with us. And now in business news. Member countries of the East African Community have launched guidelines for preparations of budget statistics, being part of implementation of the process for the countries to start using a single currency.
This guide stores the budget statistics with the aim of having a fair reflection of the statistics when giving them with Kenya and Uganda so that comparisons can be made. This is because the East Africa Community is starting to implement the same currency project, and for this, some things must be the same, such as tax collection for the national income, budget estimates, and so forth. To implement this, statistics must be made.
The guidelines have been developed in a phased approach by EAC member countries with technical support from IMF, AFE. The first phase produced the chapters on delineation of public sector sectorization, also in social insurance schemes, classification of revenue, and in treatment of grants.
And directors of all district councils in the country have been reminded to ensure they allocate special areas for business activities, and those who fail to do so should not go after traders and demand taxes.
The main challenge they face is lack of places to do work in. As a result, even the growth is low because they do not have areas to work in. We cannot continue to collect taxes from them when we have not given them good locations to work in. They can come to SIDO to ensure that their ideas are turned into industries. This is a program in various regions. We have a center in Mwanza, which we launched recently, one in Mtwara, Iringa, and in Singida.
Dar es Salaam Community Bank DCB has announced a profit of 2.3 billion shillings in 2019, being an increase of 43% profit in comparison to 2018.
You will get a benefit of your kids or any other beneficiary that we have identified to be taken to any other school of your choice at the amount that you choose in terms of school fee for a number of years that you want. And that will happen without touching your savings accounts. So anytime any one of your beneficiary, if you you have passed, any of your beneficiary can come and collect the money.
That's where we leave off with business news. Sports is up next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lend.
And in sports news, Tanzania's under-20 girls national team tomorrow will head to Uganda to face off against Uganda's national under-20 team in a return match in order to qualify to play in the World Cup finals.
This pitch will be used for the match tomorrow, so the boys are here for last preparations, but also for the coach to decide on who is going to play on which position. TFF is ready as far as preparations are concerned. We are confident that our team will play well tomorrow. We're leading by 2 goals. Nonetheless, we are ready to win and move forward.
The National Special Olympics team has succeeded in winning 11 medals in the Special Olympics Africa zone that concluded yesterday in Egypt. The competitions, which involved 38 countries, had 5 representatives in athletics from Tanzania, with 11 medals being claimed by Tanzanians, 6 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze.
Michezo ya Special Olympics kanda ya Afrika imefungwa rasmi tarehe 30 mwezi wa kwanza.
Africa Special Olympics Games finished on January the 30th, 2020. 38 countries took part. Tanzania was represented by 5 athletes and won 11 medals, 6 gold, 3 silver and 2 copper.
Fedha na 2 za shaba.
Over 50 players have registered to take part in the monthly Mug, an annual local golf tournament prepared by Lugalo Golf Club in Dar es Salaam that will take place on February the 1st of this year.
Niko nafanya mazoezi kwa ajili ya mashindano ya kesho ya monthly Mug
I play for Lugalo Golf Club. I'm practicing for the match tomorrow. I hope to do well.
Na matarajio yangu ni kuweza
Kwa mashindano ya kesho ndo tunafanya mazoezi.
We are practicing for tomorrow's game. If the weather permits it, then everything should go well. But if it rains, we will play, although not at our best.
So kwa ile uhuru unaotakiwa.
Dominic Thiem will meet defending champion Novak Djokovic in Sunday's Australian Open final after defeating Alexander Zverev. Thiem won 3-6, 6-4, 7-6, 7-3, 7-6, 7-4 in a match briefly interrupted by rain and lightning failure. Djokovic is a favourite to win a record-extending 8th title and 17th major. Thiem becomes the only second Austrian player after Thomas Munster at the 1995 French Open to win a Grand Slam. Have signed Portuguese defender Cedric Soares on loan from Southampton until the end of the season. The 28-year-old has made more than 100 appearances since joining the Saints in 2015. He also made 33 appearances for his country, including featuring at the 2018 World Cup and in Portugal's victorious Euro 26 campaign. And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and a good weekend.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV.